Hello everybody, welcome back to Starkeep Farmstead. Today, I'm going to show you guys a two-step process on how to make Louisiana Farmsteaders Chow Chow. There's going to be a lot of twists to this recipe, so hang in there with us because here's a little secret. Sam's not using cabbage. It isn't something I have in my garden this year, so I'm going to replace cabbage with zucchini. So I'm of the mindset that if I was in a situation where I could not go to the store or I did not have the cash to spend on a $50 cutting board and a couple $100 worth of knives, that I literally can use anything in my hand to create an output. So that to me is what sustainability means. It's why you're going to see me using a steak knife to cut my vegetables. Guess what? Nobody's going to know when they eat my vegetables or my chow chow that I actually used a steak knife to cut the vegetables up. Nobody's going to care. They shouldn't care. I'm not necessarily a cooking channel. I am a homesteader learning how to use what I have in my hands, what I already have, make an input, create an output in the most sustainable way that I possibly can. I am preparing myself for the fact that I might not be able to go get a food processor, or that I might not want to spend a couple $100 on a canner. So this is why, if you're watching my channel, you should continue watching this channel. I don't want to be a consumer anymore. I want to be a producer. So if you're in that same frame of mind, I hope that you continue watching me make my very first batch of Louisiana Chow Chow. To begin, you need to wash your hands, and then you need to rinse all of your vegetables off, or your fruits, depending on what you're working with. Wash them off with cool water. Set them down on a towel that's clean in your kitchen and let them air dry. From there, you're going to start dicing. For this recipe, you are going to need 8 cups of zucchini because I'm not using cabbage. So if you have cabbage, you're going to need 8 cups of cabbage. You're going to need 6 cups of green tomatoes, which is equivalent to about 4 medium green tomatoes, or as you're going to see, a combination of partially red and green tomatoes like I do because I didn't have quite enough green tomatoes. You're going to need 4 cups of chopped onions. That's equivalent to 2 medium-sized onions, and I'm going to use a sweet Vidalia onion because I'm going for a sweeter Louisiana Homesteaders Chow Chow. You're going to need 2 cups of green bell peppers. You're going to need 1 cup of sweet bell peppers. You're going to need about 8 mild jalapenos, or 2 larger peppers like banana, if that's what you choose to go with. And you're going to need 1/4 cup of canning and pickling salt. You're going to need a bowl with a lid or some tin foil, a knife, and a cutting board. That is all you're going to need today in part 1 of how to make Louisiana Homesteaders Chow Chow. I did not have 2 medium or 1 large cabbage. I'm going to use 1, 2, 3 zucchini, 1 small cucumber, 2 small yellow squash, a mixture of my bell peppers right here. I think total there's like 8. Did not have cayenne peppers, but I did have some beautiful mild jalapenos. I did not have enough green tomatoes, so I'm going to throw in a couple of slightly red tomatoes, and we're going to turn this into chow chow. I tell you guys all the time, use what you have in your hand right now. If I had to go to the store to buy a bunch of cabbage to help sustain and preserve the vegetables that I grew myself, I'm kind of missing the point there. Not saying that you can't. I'm just saying I would like to preserve these vegetables. I would like to make chow chow, but I don't have cabbage. So I'm going to make chow chow my own way. I'm going to use their recipe, and I'm simply going to remove the cabbage, and I'm going to insert the zucchini. Per the instructions on the recipe that I'm basing my chow chow on, you want to dice up whatever vegetable or fruit you're currently cutting. I took the seeds out of the squash, the yellow squash, guys, because I had looked at something the other day about canning, and even the Amish remove the seeds out of squash. I don't know why. Feel free to put your own comment or opinion in the comments on that. And something I didn't show you in this group that I'm going to be using is 2 medium onions. All right, guys, after dicing up your green and partially green tomatoes, you're going to put them into your bowl where you already have your squash. This is happening. Yes, for all of you watching, I do realize that this is not the correct knife and that my cutting board might be too small. Before you start to dice your bell pepper, make sure that you're going to core the center out and make sure you get all your seeds out. This is one that I just did. Took the top, the core, the seeds out. Oop, I just saw one. I have to get that. And then open them up like that, dice them up into the pot. When I get to the zucchini and the cucumber, I'm going to remove the seeds out of those also. So, quick way to do it, guys, because like I said, I don't have a food processor. You're just going to have to stand here and grate your zucchini, okay? It's a big zucchini, but look. Anyway, we've gotten lazy in our lives. Anything that's manual labor, we want to find a quick and easy way to do it. Sometimes you just got to put a little muscle. Because I don't have cabbage, I needed 8 cups of cabbage for this recipe. I'm going to need 8 cups of zucchini to replace that.
You got a lot to do.
That one zucchini gave me 6.5 cups. All right, so everything, and that's plenty of zucchini. I stopped when I got to the area where it began to produce seeds for me. Most of that zucchini was just smooth and beautiful. Because remember I told you need to take the seeds out of your zucchini, your squash, your cucumber, your bell peppers. Everything else, don't worry about tiny seeds. You don't want this kind of stuff to get into there. So I had originally was like, okay, I need 8 cups of zucchini, but I remembered I wanted to use a little bit of cucumber. So I'm gonna finish off that 8 cups with 6.5 cups of zucchini, 1.5 cups of cucumber. Now that we have everything into our bowl that we need, we're gonna use our hands and we're gonna toss it. You just wanna go low, flip it over, guys. Get everything, get the onion, the cucumber, the bell pepper, the mild jalapenos, the zucchini, yellow squash. You need to get all that mixed up. Boy, that's a lot of zucchini. So had I used cabbage, I'd be saying, boy, that's a lot of cabbage. And somebody's probably sitting there, don't forget there's green tomatoes in here too. Somebody's probably like, well, I don't have zucchini. What do you have? Use whatever you have in your hands. Whatever you have available, you can make this. I'm just going to mix that up good. And now we're going to use some pickling salt. We're going to put it on top. We're going to leave this covered in the refrigerator, well, till tomorrow morning. And that's when we're going to put the seasoning, cook it, can it, the whole 9 yards. That's why I said this is part 1. So just want you guys to be able to prep your vegetables so we can do the rest of it together tomorrow. And then we can discuss it. We can talk about what we liked about this recipe, what we didn't like. Just get it all good mixed up. All right, let me go get my cannon salt. All right, guys, you have your 1/4 cup of canning and pickling salt, okay? Look, it's very simple. Sprinkle it. Put a little bit down, both hands in. You got to get that salt all through here. Now, I was telling Steven, I think the reason they want you to leave the salt on these vegetables for so long, like overnight covered, because we're going to cover this with tinfoil and set it in the refrigerator until tomorrow morning. Then we're going to go and we're going to season it, we're going to cook it, and then we will can it using a water bath method. But I honestly believe, and I haven't really looked into it, it's the first time I've ever done this in my life, that make you do this is because that salt's going to pull a lot of the water out of these vegetables. Bell pepper, cucumber, tomato. They're all very moist, high water content vegetables, and it's a little hard to can those kinds of things unless you can pull some of the moisture out of it. So get the rest of your canning salt. Now that you've mixed it, you can do the same thing. Dump it in there, none left in the cup. Mix it all together. Okay, look up here. All right, so you've heard us talk before that we are a sustainable farm. We do closed loop systems and we have zero food waste that comes off of our farm, which means everything is recycled in another closed loop system. So things that I did not finish using, hence this, I'm gonna dice this up, seeds and all, and I'm gonna go outside, I'm gonna feed my rabbits. So everything that's left over from me peeling and de-seeding the vegetables and the fruits is over there in a container. I'm gonna take that out to my chickens and to my quail. And I'm gonna put that stuff. My husband, while I was doing this, my husband Steven was pickling quail eggs.
And I did not make nowhere near the mess she made. Like she says, I make the mess.
Okay, so I was a little messy today. I literally have zucchini everywhere.
Probably on the floor.
I did, I already did.
Look at that. I ain't done nothing. This is my mess.
Look at that, look at the stove. That's your mess too. You just skipped
What you talking about? What you forgot to put up a while ago? My lips. Oh, that's a couple seeds. I'm gonna clean that up though. But I am gonna clean my mess up. That's my little bitty mess.
Okay, so what I was trying to tell you is even the quail eggs, when he peeled them, all of those peelings will go out to the chickens. We recycle everything. There is no food waste off of this farm. That is sustainable closed loop systems. So if you have not yet subscribed, liked, or commented, or even shared one of our videos, I ask that you do, because we have a goal here at Starkey Farmstead. We are going to hit 1,000 subscribers by September 1st. I know that we can do it with you guys helping us along the way. We would like to row in your boat, and we would very much appreciate you rowing in ours, as we are a debt-free 2-acre, small land, small acreage, small livestock farmstead located in Southeast Louisiana. So thanks for watching. I'm going to get all of this covered now with some tin foil, maybe get it into that refrigerator where, I don't know, but I'll make room. Get it in there, and tomorrow be looking for part 2 on how to make your very own Louisiana Homesteaders Chow Chow. Thank you for watching.
Samantha's Messy Kitchen.
Samantha's Messy Kitchen. Sustainable closed loop systems, guys. That could have went into a landfill, to a garbage can. Instead, look at them. They're picking out the seeds first because, of course, they're birds, and what do birds love? Seeds. All birds. So they're going to pick through the seeds. They're going to eat everything that they like first. 2 eggs. 2 of my yard eggs. And I literally can go from 6:30 in the morning till noon in this yard, in this garden, weed eating, cutting grass, replanting things, transplanting things, seeding things, making potting soil, running worm castings, making YouTube videos, cleaning my house, taking care of my animals, filling waterers, slaughtering now that I know how. Did just slaughter my very first chicken the other day. Super excited about that. I can do all of that on, ooh, look at that. I just got a seed on my eyes. On 2 of my yard eggs, 6 in the morning till noon. And I won't even really get hungry at noon. I can just feel myself getting a little like, my energy level's dropping. And I go inside and I usually will take the cast iron skillet and do some kind of like sauteed vegetable. Sometimes I'll eat more eggs. And I'm telling you guys, more nutrient dense food means less food that you intake. And I've been trying to convince my husband, which is why we have tons of shorts and lots of little funny videos on me trying to get him to eat healthier. He was raised in an orphanage. What he considers food was really just pizzas and spaghettis and chicken nuggets, mass-produced frozen foods to keep kids from technically starving, but it didn't do very much to get nutrients into him. So I have my work cut out for me. I just wanted to show you guys that I try to be as transparent as possible. I show you when my garden is looking funky and doing crazy things, because tomatoes are jerks. You ought to catch that video. Try to be as transparent as I can be with you guys, because this is real life farmsteading. We do this debt free, so I don't spend money where I don't need to spend money. If it means I stand there with a 3-pound zucchini, grating it by hand, we'll probably lay in bed tonight with my right wrist hurting. Guess what? Next time I have to grate a 3-pound zucchini, my right wrist won't hurt anymore, because adversity makes you stronger. Learn that in church today. Preacher preached on it. Amazing message. Guys, when you go through things in life and you come out the other side, you come out stronger. It depends on what you did during that period of time. Who did you depend on? So here lately, I've been putting all my faith in God, all my faith in Jesus. And I'm going to tell you guys now, what he has done for my husband and I in 18 months is flat a miracle. He saved us. He delivered us from some tremendously deadly habits. Deadly. And that's all I'm going to say, because that's our personal business. But we were delivered from that. Instantaneous delivery. We could not even pay our own electric bill. Guess what? We can pay those electric bills now, and they've been running $430 a month the last 2 months, and we haven't missed a beat here at Starkey Farmstead. We do everything without credit cards. So we hope, like I said, that you will row in our boats. We would like to just show other people, how do you get started, and where do you go with the things as they multiply. If you are not prepared to take in that multiplication, that blessing from God that comes with no sorrow will literally keep you up at night as it rots in your kitchen. So I hope to help you do that. I hope that you help me do that, because I tell you guys all the time, I'm still learning. I'll be learning to the day I take my last breath. We appreciate you watching us. It is an honor, and we pray your many of God's blessings on you and your family as you go out there and you multiply and you prosper in the name of Jesus.